What's up, everybody? Welcome to Epic Battle Cry, the place where we cut through the crap to get to the real deal in the gaming industry. Today, I am Daniel Kaiser, joined, as always, by Brent Adams and Tony Grice. It is Wednesday, hump day, September 24th, 2014. We hope you are as flabbergasted as we are that this month is almost over. And excited to get through this week as well. We've had some engaging conversations thus far this week, and we continue that trend today with a question from Axehead Nashwan, known as @Nash_Nashwan.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, sure. Because apparently Nashwan was already taken. So anyway, the question comes, we'll just call him Nashy because it reminds me of Steve Nash.
What if his name is actually Nashwan?
But see,
what if this is like a family name and you're basically insulting him?
No, I'm not.
What if he's got to swear a blood oath to get revenge on you now?
Steve Nash is Canadian. Rush is Canadian. And
so you're insulting him.
Oh. That definitely was not closer to the heart. But anyway, we will... This is the question from Nashy. Nashy, which is my new name throughout the rest of the show. Hi, Lord.
Little known fact that, like in 6th grade, he swore to kill any person that ever called him Nashy.
They called him Nashy? Yeah. Okay. Hi, Lords. What do you think of trophies and achievements? Did they ruins the freedom to play as we please? I think there was...
Yeah, let's needle him a little bit more.
Laugh at it for English not being his first language. Way to go. Way to go.
There's an extra S in there, but that's okay.
Who's the Canadian here?
Who's going to point it out on a, large scale like we just did?
So anyway, that's a good question. Achievements... trophies, things that, obviously have changed the way we game. They've changed the direction of game design. They've added a lot. They've also kind of, maybe subtracted a lot from the mentality of overall game design. But TG and 3D, let's start with you and your opinion on trophies, something that was completely validated in the last generation and now coming across to this current console generation and not going away anytime soon. Do you think they help or hurt both the design and the gameplay experience?
I don't think that they hurt it per se. Like I do have kind of a little bit of a hard time seeing how they hurt it specifically. Okay. Although I guess I can see maybe if you're just creating a game just with a bunch of little achievements and kind of losing sight of the entire experience possibly, but I don't think that's what happens. I gotta be honest, I've never been much of a trophy or achievement person. I actually think the idea of trophies and achievements is kind of like, I really think that, like we were speaking about yesterday about how different people learn things differently and look at things differently. I think that the trophies and achievements is kind of geared towards a different kind of gamer. It's like a gamer that maybe, in the space that we're in now where people maybe play games for shorter periods of time, in certain circumstances, maybe this gives them that like sort of feeling of accomplishing something, of getting, hey, I can't maybe play for a ton of time. Maybe I'm gonna see if I can finish that one achievement off that I'm really close to. Or for that person that just kind of wants like, I've already played through the game, I finished it, now I want to go back and I want a reason to play it again. And just maybe, like back in the day, I used to remember playing through like, well, even, like old school, you played for like scores. I never was really big on that either, but I do remember trying to beat games faster. Like, can I beat it within a certain amount of time? And that's what I sort of see this is sort of similar to that. And actually, that's probably an achievement in a lot of games, is beating it under a certain time frame. But I don't know. It's one of those things I don't fully... It's not something I really play much for, but I also don't really see, as long as it's kind of meant as an addition to a game. Exactly. Like, I can maybe sort of see if there was a game that was made and it was just... Well, like, I will be honest. There have been a couple games that drive me crazy where it's like, you beat the first level and it's like... achievement unlocked. You beat the first level. Like, okay, really? That's a fucking achievement? Like, I beat the fucking first level? Like, open the first door that you ever come across in the game. Achievement unlocked.
You did prove that you weren't comatose. And that you
exactly. You did, booted up the game for the first time. Like, I swear I think there was a game one time that...
Congratulations.
I think there was a game that literally, like, if you, like, when you start the game, it, like, gives you an achievement for, like, way to get in there, or something like it. It's just kind of
let's do this.
Well,
yeah. So that's I don't know.
It's interesting how those very often do end up being kind of jokes,
Yeah.
And there's a lot of kind of achievement humor and things that do end up happening.
The last little thing, and then I'll let you go, but is the thing where it does seem like, isn't there like sort of at least I think on certain, maybe it's Sony games, there's like a amount of achievements they have to have per game, or no, maybe it's Microsoft. Yes. Like if it's like an Xbox Live game, they can only have 10, whereas if it's like a full release game, it can have up to 100 or whatever. That there's like some kind of rule there. That to me sort of seems odd, like because those are the games I do really feel like every time you turned left, achievement unlocked. Like those kind of things seem to come up a lot. That I do sort of feel like it actually is a little bit of a detriment to the game because you're constantly getting this little box up in the top corner letting you know just stupid random crap. When you and then you actually might miss that thing that you did that was really cool because you just sort of tuned it out because it's useless information. I don't know. That's the only time I could really see as being detrimental.
Brent, you've played, I mean, as somebody particularly who loves a lot of the story-driven games, I mean, I know that, like Tony was hinting at there, talking about, like, a lot of times they just give you for general progress through the game. What is your thought on achievement? Should it be of a certain type of ilk, the type of achievement specifically, or does it feel sometimes like they're just cramming them in because they have to, or what?
It's interesting. I think that every game kind of can and should approach it uniquely, and various games have kind of awoken achievement whore-dumb in me over the years. And I think I've talked about the original Uncharted, which I've got like 100% completion on. I've got all the achievements, all the conceivable things that you could do in the game I've got, and that was a very, very fun thing to do. I played through the game, I don't know, it was maybe 6 times, however many times it was, to accomplish all that. But the way that they did it is that as you unlocked achievements, you were also unlocking perks and things that that made playing the game more enjoyable because you were getting things like unlimited ammo with this with this gun, or some gold version of this pistol that is like one-shot kills and that kind of thing.
Right.
There's another game that and I think I talked about this on the X Factor, but I played The Cave when that came out from Double Fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I was all about trying to unlock the achievements on that, and it ended up being this huge fiasco because there was a bug in the game on PC that wouldn't unlock the achievements if you were playing with mouse and keyboard, which or maybe it was unless you were playing with mouse and keyboard, because I think I was using a controller. But anyway, so I was like trying to get all these achievements and it wasn't fucking happening. But my point is that there have been games that I've played that achievements have definitely offered something to the gameplay experience, and like I remember like playing some of the early Grand Theft Auto games like 3 and Vice City, San Andreas. Those games had all kinds of interesting, and this is sort of in the era before achievements on your gamer tag or whatever. But that game had all kinds of things that you could accomplish. You could get all these stunt jumps and all these insane things, and I did a bunch of that too. And the thing about it is, I think that on one side, it's an easy way for the developers to kind of artificially extend gameplay. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, look, there's even more to play because you've got these achievements. You're playing the exact same content that you've already played, but you're just approaching it from a different perspective, trying to do something very, very specific. And, for people who really enjoy the challenge of that, I think it can be really compelling. But I'm one of those people that, depending on the game, I might go like Uncharted and go 100%, or I might never pay attention to even, even the one that says, oh, congratulations, you managed to power on the console, achievement unlocked. It's totally situational for me. Some games, they engage me and I get into that, and some games, I couldn't even tell you if there was an achievement in it.
Yeah. Well, and my 2 cents is answering the question: did they ruin the freedom to play as we please? I think it's directly correlated to the level of concern that you have for them, if you care about them or not. Like, I think very well implemented achievements do a great job, like you guys were saying, at extending the experience, but generally in a situation where you want the experience extended. Like, again, to lazily
is there ever an experience where we don't want it extended? I mean,
well,
is there ever a situation that no, we're talking about video games, right?
Yes.
Right, got it.
What I mean is, when you are just casually going through a game and get an achievement because you completed a level, that feels very mundane, very forced. But if you're like, well, it takes some skill to do it. So, some of the best achievements for me have been in sports games where it's like, hold a team to, 5 points in the quarter or something like that. So like that then becomes a goal.
Don't fall asleep while playing or something like that.
Right. No, but,
and they can track that now that they got the camera that sees your eyes.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, to me, those are the type of achievements that enhance it. And when you really like a game like an Uncharted or a Mass Effect or something like that, it feels good to say, well, I've beaten the game, but now I get to go through and say I've done it 100%. And it does harken back to that old school. Like there's an actual metric now for 100% completion, as opposed to when we were growing up, where it's like, yes, I beat that guy. Yes, I did it in this time. Yes, I got this score. And it's all like self-validating, which was fine. But now there's an actual metric to determine your level of commitment and your skill, in fact, at a particular game. So I think they're on. If you were to put it on a scale, I think it definitely weighs out on the side of being a more positive thing. Yeah, it's in line with the Earth's magnetic field. But, to me, it definitely comes out to be more positive. So, interesting. And obviously they're not going away, but I think that the studios that take the time to kind of understand their audience.
It definitely comes down to implementation. I mean, it's all implementation. If they do it well, I don't think anybody has a problem with it. Unfortunately, I think a lot of people don't do it that well, and that I think can be detrimental.
When they don't do it that well, does it really like bother people, or are those the ones where you're just like, this is shit, ignore it?
But it does kind of, don't you think it does? I mean, it doesn't make a huge dent, I don't think, but I mean, it does sometimes. I really do think, I'm like, okay, really? It kind of, I think it does sort of take your overall impression of a game down just a tiny bit, because you're like, really?
Just a
Why
tiny
even
bit.
fucking do that then?
I would say that the achievements and trophies, they have an opportunity to positively impact a game. And so whether or not the developer does that, it's not going to negatively impact the game necessarily, but they've missed an opportunity to positively impact it. So, I mean, it's really a glass half full type of situation.
But I was going to say, but they didn't miss the opportunity to negatively impact it. So they were on the mark.
Yes.
With the negative side of the Earth's magnetic field line.
It depends on what your definition of what is. Yeah. All right. So anyway,
somebody get me a Diet Dr. Pepper, because I'm the president.
That answers your question. Achievement unlocked on our behalf for going through that conversation, and we hope that you enjoyed it. And we hope you have an opinion that you'll share with us. And if you have another question that you would like for us to answer on an upcoming edition of EBC, please let us know by following us on Twitter at EpicBattleX and sending us your questions. Of course, you can hit us up on YouTube, youtube.com/EpicBattleX as well, to check out our podcast and subscribe to our channel. We appreciate it very much. Good luck getting through Hump Day. We'll see you tomorrow for another edition of EBC. For TG and Brent Adams, I'm Daniel Kaiser, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care, gang.
Oh, God. I was holding on to an achievement for that? Like, is
they do. Achievement unlocked. Okay. Bereavement unlocked. All right, I'll do that.
He went for that beer this time. He was just like, all right.
Yeah, he was serious.
Like last time we
thought
kidding.
He was kind of being funny, or
this
a little
time
bit,
I'm serious.
He's jonesing. He literally had the shakes at the end of the video.
That's exactly right. We might need to have the talk with him.
We might need to have a talk. We joke about it, but literally, I think that he is a drunkard.
All right.
At this point.
I've been I've been a drunkard off and on most of my life, and I tell you, it is the one career that I've been able to stick with.